Most people who work at the Pentagon make the same mistake when choosing where to live. They pick a place that looks like a 10-minute commute and accidentally turn it into a 40-minute daily grind. And the worst part, they don't realize it until after they've bought the house. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid that and walk you through the smartest neighborhoods to live in if you will be working at the Pentagon, based on how your life will actually feel day to day, not just what a map tells you. I've been in Northern Virginia for over 30 years. My real estate office is less than 5 miles from the Pentagon, and I drive by it almost daily. It's just a part of my world. And over time, I've seen this place in ways that go beyond real estate. On September 11th, I was here and saw the smoke rising from the Pentagon. That's not something you forget. 2 weeks later, I got married, and the night after our wedding, my wife Deborah and I stayed in Pentagon City in a hotel. So when I talk about this area, it's not just about data or listing. It's memory, it's experience, it's watching something rebuild and evolve over decades. I've worked with a lot of Pentagon clients, military relocations, senior staff, analysts, contractors, people coming in from all over the country trying to figure out one thing: where do I live so that my life actually works? And here's what I've learned after doing this for many years. There is no perfect answer, but there are definitely wrong ones. And I've seen people live with those mistakes every single day. Let's start with something that most people underestimate. The Pentagon is not just an office. It's an entire ecosystem. You've got roughly 20 to 25,000 people working there every single day. Military brass, civilian leadership, intelligence analysts, admin staff, contractors, all moving in roughly the same windows of time. And yes, the Pentagon does have a massive parking lot. If you've seen it from above, it looks like it should handle anything. It doesn't. It fills up. Every morning, there's a rhythm. Cars funneling in, people timing their arrivals, trying to beat the wave. At the same time, you've got Metro riders coming in through Pentagon Station. Blue line, yellow line, packed at peak hours. You've got buses, you've got carpools and slug lines. Yes, one of the last places in the country where casual carpooling is still a real commuting system. And then you've got security, because for many roles, your arrival time isn't when you park your car or get off the train. It's when you're through the building. So when someone tells me I'm only 3 miles away, I always pause, because distance is not the variable that matters. I had a client, very sharp, very analytical, and mapped out everything before buying his home. Routes, timing, backup options. On paper, 12 minutes. First week, 35, then 45. And he told me, I don't understand what I missed. And I said, you didn't miss anything except reality. And if you stay with me, I'm going to show you how to actually test your commute before buying, because almost nobody does this right. You're not choosing a location, you're choosing a daily experience. And that experience will either feel smooth or like resistance. If you want to remove as much of that resistance as possible, there's one obvious category: Pentagon City, Crystal City, or what they now call National Landing. This is where life becomes incredibly efficient. You wake up, step outside, and everything is right there. Coffee, groceries, gyms, restaurants, and most importantly, your commute becomes predictable. I've had clients who literally walk to the Pentagon, across the pedestrian bridge, through their routine, and done. And when you remove uncertainty from your mornings, you start your day differently. And here's something that people don't think about until after they move. That 20 to 30 minutes you save each way, every day, that's hours of your life back every single week. But you are paying for that. Smaller space, higher price per square foot, you're not buying size, but you are buying control over your life. If this lifestyle is even remotely appealing, I've done a full breakdown of Pentagon City, National Landing, Crystal City, specific buildings, pros, cons, what to avoid. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show you neighborhoods where you get almost the same commute, but a completely different lifestyle. This is where people start to get surprised, because most buyers come in thinking they have to make a trade-off. Close equals small, space equals far. But that's not entirely true here. Aurora Highlands and Arlington Ridge. These are neighborhoods where you turn off of a main road and suddenly everything slows down. Tree-lined streets, detached homes, quiet. And yet, you're still only 5 to 10 minutes from the Pentagon. I showed one of these neighborhoods to a relocating military family. They had already accepted condo living as their reality. But when we drove through Aurora Highlands, that's when they just said to me, "Wait, how is this here?" That reaction happens more often than you would think. Here you'll see 1940s to 1960s colonials, some renovated, some expanded. And you'll see newer builds mixed in. You'll see people walking dogs, kids playing, a sense of neighborhood that feels grounded. And you're typically in that $900,000 to $1.5 million range. But what you're buying is something very specific. You're buying quiet, but without disconnect. I've actually done a deep dive just on the Aurora Highlands neighborhood and what streets to focus on, where the value pockets are. I'll link to that video here. And if you think this is interesting, wait until you see where people go when they want more space without jumping way out. Now, let's shift gears, because not everyone is optimizing for quiet. Let's talk about Clarendon and Courthouse in North Arlington. This is energy, restaurants, bars, activity. Something is always happening. You're looking at condos, apartments, some townhomes. You've got metro access right there. You've got density, but also convenience. Honestly, though, it's not for everyone. It's louder, it's busier, and it is younger. But if your life doesn't stop at 5 p.m., this might be where you want to be. I've done a full Arlington breakdown, Clarendon versus Ballston versus Roslyn. If you're comparing those, definitely watch that video next. And then there's a category that a lot of people don't even realize exists until someone shows it to them. And once they see it, it suddenly clicks. Shirlington, Fairlington, Beverly Hills. These aren't as immediately obvious as Pentagon City or Clarendon, but for the right person, they can be exactly the right answer. Shirlington in particular has this almost village-like feel to it. You've got a walkable center with lots of restaurants, coffee shops, a theater, the dog park, movies, people out walking, sitting, talking. It feels human scale, not high-rise, not overwhelming, just livable. And then right around it, there's Fairlington, rows of classic brick townhomes that almost feel like a Georgetown-style layout, but more accessible, with tree-lined paths, courtyards, a sense of symmetry and calm. And then Beverly Hills on the Alexandria side, more single-family homes, slightly more suburban feel, but still very connected. You start to get more space, more yard, and more breathing room. Now let's talk about what matters, because this is where people hesitate. The commute. Here you're looking at about 10 to 20 minutes to the Pentagon, depending on timing and route. You've got access to 395, you have cut-through routes, and you have bus options as well. And here's what I've seen with clients. People assume this is too far at first, but once they test it in real conditions, they realize it's actually very manageable. I worked with a client who was dead set on Arlington, wanted to be as close as possible. We looked at condos, we looked at high-rises, Clarendon and Ballston, and nothing felt quite right to him. I brought him down to Shirlington almost as an afterthought. We walked around for maybe 20 minutes, and he said, This feels like somewhere I would actually live. And that's the difference. Not just where you can live, but where you want to be when you're not working. This is also where things get interesting from a value standpoint. Fairlington especially gives you a kind of entry point into that Arlington lifestyle without paying Arlington single-family prices. You'll see condos and townhome-style units often in the $400,000 to $800,000 range, depending on size and updates. In Beverly Hills, you're moving into single-family territory, higher price points, but still often more space than you would get closer in. This area sits in a very specific lane. You're not maximizing proximity, you're not maximizing nightlife, but you are maximizing livability. And honestly, this is where I see people land when they've looked at everything else and nothing quite clicked. I've done a full breakdown of Shirlington, what to focus on, what works best, what to avoid, and I'll link to that video here. And if you like this balance between access and space, the next area we're going to talk about takes that even a step further. So this might be the most underrated category, the West End of Alexandria. Cameron Station, Seminary Hill, Landmark area. This is where things really start to open up. More space, more options, more value relative to Arlington. You'll find much larger townhomes, garden-style condos, high-rises, and newer developments coming in. You've got diversity of housing that you just don't see as much closer in. The commute is a straight shot up 395, typically 15 to 20 minutes in the morning, and using the express lanes when needed. I've had clients, many clients, come in convinced that they had to be in Arlington, and once they saw what they could get here in the West End of Alexandria, their entire framework shifted. This is where smart buyers go when they want more without giving up proximity. I've got a full West End Alexandria video as well. What's changing, where to look. I'll link to that here. And then there's a different kind of decision. People who don't start with commute, they start with feeling. Old Town, Del Rey, walkable streets, character, community. Old Town with its historic row homes, waterfront, cobblestone streets. Del Rey, more relaxed, more local, and a strong neighborhood feel. The commute can be less predictable, but for some people, this is what makes everything else worth it. So, what's the best place to live if you work at or will be working at the Pentagon? It depends on what you value most. But here's what I want you to remember. You don't experience your home once in a while, but you do experience your commute every single day. If you're relocating for a Pentagon role, I put together a curated guide breaking down neighborhoods by commute, lifestyle, and price. Email me at brian@brianblock.com and I will send it over to you. And if you're serious about making a move, if you've already got your transfer orders, I'll personally map out your real estate commute before you ever step into a house.